Welcome everybody back to another episode of the Money Pop Podcast, the NBA Special Player Prop and Picks series. This is episode 7. I am the CEO. I am the president. I am him. They call me Moss Money. And of course, I got the biggest degenerate. He was just telling me a story. He was just telling me a degenerate story of how he got himself in some shit down in some other state. Y'all know him. I love him. We all love him. Renzo, what's up, boy?
What's up, man? What's good with it?
What's good, man? What's good, man? I mean, kind of took a little bit of a break, right? We had the All-Star break kind of come around here with NBA stuff. I know some NCAA was going on. I haven't bet much NCAA, but I put it out there to the folks, to the people. I put it out to you. What you seeing from the college ranks? Because from what I can see, before you go, from what I can see, it's anybody's game.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter if you won 10, 15, motherfuckers dropping left and right when they be playing these ranked games. I haven't seen any consistency recently. I think I saw, was it Duke maybe? Or somebody went on a nice 20-game run against the spread.
Mm-hmm.
I know Bama's was ranked 1 or something like that, and their odds dropped down to make the Final Four from a betting perspective stuff. But other than that, bro, I don't got nothing. What you got for me?
You know what, man? I've been having a little bit of success, man, with the college game, man.
Yeah.
Like the college game, I think is what you're saying is true. Is definitely a lot of parity. I think a lot of teams have played each other now, and you're in conference play, to where it's almost like being like in a when the Cowboys play the Eagles or the Redskins. It's like somehow those games typically are competitive more times than not than they're not. So being in conference play, man, where games start to matter more, you're trying to get seeded for your conference tournament, you're trying to build your resume. I think you see a lot of competitive games, see a lot of close games. And there's some teams that's starting to make some streaks, man. Like it's some, I like Virginia, man. They got a game today. It's some good teams, man. I think you can really look into common opponents. I think that's the good thing about college basketball is like you can look at common opponent performances.
Okay.
That versus like in NBA is like you might not have played another team, the same team for months on end.
Right.
At all versus college.
Okay.
We both just played Mississippi State last week. You lost, I won. So type of thing. So
okay. So let's bring back what we have so far on our way to 10K. Right now, we took an L. Well, I took an L. Last time I bet on NBA before the All-Star break, dropped down a unit, only up 7.5 units. 7.2 units, but we still in the green, way well in the black, as they say in the gambling world. So we're going good. Still on to the goal. We got the second half of the season. So from a betting perspective, bro, what are you looking at this second half of the season? There's always second half of the season risers and fallers and stuff like that. So do you think there's going to be some teams that carry on their early success from the first half, or you think it's going to be a completely different game? Second half, trade deadlines happen, buyouts have happened already. What are you looking at from a second half from a betting perspective in the NBA?
Yeah, man, I think you're looking for motivations for teams to either continue what they did or go the opposite direction, right? So, when you look at, I think, young teams like the Magic, who secretly I think are like the number 2 cover team in the league.
Okay.
I think there's real motivation.
The second best cover team in the league?
I'm pretty sure second or third best cover team at this point. I'm probably like,
wow.
Man, I've been riding them. So, a team like that, I think, has real motivation to continue to play, right? Like they're young. You got your best player who like has real motivation. So I think a team like that, can they stay competitive, right, and always come out and compete, versus teams like maybe the Bulls, who are like a bunch of older guys. You aren't championship team. You're on a championship team. Is like, what do you play for? As you get closer to the end of the year, your performances probably start to fade off. So I think fading teams with no real motivation to play, while looking at teams that have either stuff on the line or young kids that's just looking to prove themselves. So kind of looking at stuff like that.
Yeah. So we have basketball coming up here. Games are on for tomorrow. So I took a look at the slate here. Pretty decent slate. I think the biggest only takeaway from any of these games from an injuries perspective is just Giannis being out tomorrow. Is it tomorrow that the Bucks play? No, Bucks don't play tomorrow. I'm sorry. I thought I saw the Bucks on the docket. Maybe I got confused with somebody else. But I mean, everybody should be kind of full go. We'll get a good look of. Damn, I guess I must have been looking at the wrong date. I thought the Clippers played tomorrow too. Maybe am I looking at the right? Yeah, no, I guess not. We all know. Well, Westbrook went to the Clippers to kind of form their big three right now. Nothing sticking out to me right away. I see some big spreads though, like the Mavs are minus 13.5 on the Spurs. I thought there was a 10. You just talked about your Magic is favorites by minus 6.5. Cleveland -2. Sixers are -4. Any games tomorrow that you're really kind of eyeing up, or even games today, like you said, you like some college games today. Anything in there that you're looking at right now that kind of makes sense to you to kind of take a look at and peek at and give people a little bit of snippet of what we're going might be betting later today.
Yeah, man. So really haven't jumped into NBA tomorrow, honestly. But
Cool.
college, man, looking at college, man, you got a healthy full slate, man. I think one thing that I've been seeing, some of these lines don't be consistent and don't feel right in college, where
Yeah.
you can get quality teams with points. Like you get a top 10, top 15, top 25 team with like points, real points, a few baskets. So I'm looking at this Providence UConn game. Providence beat UConn like a month ago by like 9. They're almost an 8-point underdog right now,
Mm.
like, at UConn, which really, and they've been playing well. They're 7-3 their last 10 games against the spread. I think 7-3 total, decent away, 500 type road team.
Yeah.
UConn's below 500 against the spread last 10. It's like it makes you scratch your head of what's going on. So I think lines like that, when you can see stuff that just seems a little abnormal,
Yeah.
in college, it seems to just be they're just not on top of it for whatever reason, or they're trying to find like storylines that might be impacting that. So I'm looking at games like that, man, which I like. I'm gonna dive into. I think Virginia playing Boston College. Boston College sucks. Virginia's hitting their stride. They beat them by like 20 plus points. The lines moved 2 points already.
Yeah.
I think that over under is pretty low too. I mean, Virginia plays great defense, but Boston College has one of the worst defenses in college basketball. And it's not even 130. I think the line's like 126 now. It was 124. So I think that over and under, man. I think for a team that plays really good defense, I think that can easily get. I think they easily can be like a 60-70 game, or a 72-58 game. It's a lot of scores that I think get over 126.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's some plays there, man. So I'm looking at a few games there.
Yeah. What's up, Don? Don? I see you done switched up, right? Switched up like a pair of draws. Got the Detroit Red Wings on there. But I ain't mad at you. Represent Detroit, man. Yeah, I mean, I think it is kind of fitting to talk about. I mean, I was looking at NBA because that's more likely what I'm gonna bet. But from like you said, there's a shit ton of college games on. And you just touched on college. So if you guys are just jumping into their college, just hit the replay on it. Once the show's over, we do this 10, 15-minute show. Have people jump on. We give a little snippet about NBA, NCAA, what we're looking at from a basketball perspective, and then we drop our plays later on today. Because you guys all know when you bet basketball, lines aren't up. You don't know who's playing. It really comes later in the day, a lot later than it would for like football or something like that. So we got to kind of wait around to make sure that we're getting the right number for you guys and we're putting that out. So if you haven't followed, go ahead and follow, hit the subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification. You know the spiel. Helps us keep growing, helps us in the back end. You know the deal. Give him. What are you looking at from a future standpoint here? From NCAA tournaments coming up, March Madness is right around the corner. Are you
Mm-hmm.
looking at any futures of like, possibly somebody, a good play to make, to make the Final Four. I know some of those ones dropped. Like I said, I think, and Donon kind of hit it right here. The kid Brandon Miller, he was from Bama, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brandon was on Bama, right? I think Bama was like plus 900 to make the Final Four. Now they're down to like plus 150. But obviously, this whole thing about Brandon Miller and buying the gun and all that stuff kind of came out. That's obviously going to affect them. Who knows? I think they're still going through their due diligence about who knows about if he's going to be suspended, et cetera, et cetera. But give us one team that you see right now that you feel pretty confident that is probably going to make a good run or make a or even two teams that you see making it to the Final Four.
Ah man, that's a tough one, man. It's so much.
Is it
It's so
still
much
tough?
parity. It's so much parity in college basketball. I was gonna say, man, I think it's never been more than a 3 seed to win a national championship. I think, man, as we keep pushing this much parity, man, it's like 4 and 5 seeds are going to be that. It's just that close in competition. But if I had to say, man, I think it all depends on what bracket you end up in. But a team like Purdue, man, with size that just plays like a methodical, slow game.
Yeah.
With that big dude who's fucking huge. Pause. If
Right. I was just saying, what?
if you if you could get somebody like if they can get just good favorable matchups, I think they certainly can make a run. I think a team like Virginia, who plays really good defense, that coach's formula is like strong defense,
Yeah,
low
Virginia's
score.
always been known for their defense.
Yeah, I think they can make a push if they get the right matchups.
So they're
So it's
what?
like
They're in this.
I did like Alabama. I did like Alabama. I think Houston number 1 overall. They probably end up with like number 1 overall seed. I think they're the most vulnerable. I mean, they got some losses there, in some competitive games, right? Like I think they're terrible against the spread. They're certainly less than 500 against the spread, where they kind of just like keep people in there. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
um, so yeah, I mean, I like Purdue. I like Virginia. I really did like Alabama, but you don't know what's going on with this dude.
yeah.
So
That whole thing is just wild to me.
mhm.
And then yeah, I mean, right now, kind of switching. I guess I should have made this more of an NCAA conversation. But right now we got Bama, Houston, Purdue, and Kansas as the respected number ones in their brackets, where people kind of going up and down per seeding. Um, the Purdue one looks. I mean, what's like I don't even know. Like I'm not used to seeing Duke and the Zags out of the top five in that seeding. UConn is 5 right now in that seeding. Baylor's been around for a little bit, so it is going to be real interesting once the tournament comes around. And I think it really is, like you said, like a crapshoot where there's so much parity about you really don't know, and nobody's really kind of pushing forward of where they're going to be and really taking control. So it really is
Mhm.
going to be interesting. And like you already said and dropped, you're looking at some totals here for today for some college basketball.
Yeah.
Any other games or any good kind of matchup games you want to look today just before we get out of here in terms of a really interesting game, a really interesting matchup, or even a dog, really a really nice dog that you like today. Anything that you're
Yeah,
seeing today? I didn't even look at college, but I'm looking right now. See if I can.
yeah. I mean, if I had a dog to say, like I'm teetering. It's a few dogs, man. I'm teetering. I'm teetering Providence, like money line, Providence money line. You're talking about a top 20 team. You're talking about top 20. Yeah, you're talking about a top 20 team who already beat this opponent by close to double digits. They're at plus like 260 on the money line. It's like
To beat UConn. And where
to
was
beat
that? Where was that game before? Was that
the
in
Britons game. I
Providence?
was in Providence, so they are playing away.
Yeah.
They're not. You don't. You don't seem. They don't drop off too much. Playing home and away. Providence doesn't. Their home totals only drop by their home total only dropped by 4 points. Um, their home total only dropped by 4 points, and their defense only drops 1 point. So they're essentially the same team home and away. Where a lot of teams like there's big swings. Like Connecticut is much better home. Their offense averages 82 points home versus 70 away,
Mm-hmm.
64 and 64. So yeah, I mean, if you talking about value, like if I had to find like a value money line, like you can get a top 20 team at plus 260 versus a team that's in their conference they already beat. I like that. Look, Temple right here, man, playing a Cincinnati team. I think
I
could
was
be
wondering about that. Is Temple any good?
Temple's decent, man. Like they're like 15 and 13, but they've been competitive. They beat Cincinnati by 9 points January 1st this year. Um, Temple is they aren't playing the best. They're 1-4 their last five. We got a close loss to SMU. Got a couple blowouts, 9 point loss. They beat UCF, but Cincinnati. Let me see. Cincinnati is playing well. That's a game I probably don't touch. I mean, I think Temple should be within double digits here. Like they shouldn't be in double digits,
So
but
that could be a teaser candidate.
that could be a teaser candidate for sure.
Okay.
But I like if you need a teaser like Providence at 7.5. That's
Okay.
that's all day to be
Yeah.
quite honest.
Yeah, Don. I think it's. I was looking at the schedule. I think Well, I don't think North Carolina's playing Notre Dame today. I think Virginia's playing somebody else. I think it was
Virginia,
Boston College.
they play Boston College.
Here today, so I might be maybe tomorrow or someday down out of the slate. Yeah, I like that play. Maybe a little Temple and Providence teaser, 2-team teaser,
Yeah,
to get you plus points. Now remember with hold on.
I probably would tease Virginia before I tease Temple.
Okay.
I probably tease Virginia before I tease Temple, but I do kind of like Temple. Florida's not a bad pick neither, man.
Yeah, against Kentucky.
Florida at home versus Kentucky. Kentucky's suspect, man.
Yeah, I think and just remember what I was going to say with the teasers with basketball, it's a little bit different. You don't get like the 6 or 7 points. I think it's 4.5 or 5
Mm-hmm.
or with basketball. So yeah, I like the Virginia Providence play,
Mm-hmm.
right? A 2-team teaser with Virginia and Providence. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would probably take that play. It might be a play we talk about and post later on. Before we get out of here, anything else you got from college, NBA, shocking news?
Hey man, I like the Suns, man. You talking about future picks, man? I like
Are you jumping on the bandwagon?
I'm a KD guy, man. I think KD
Oh,
is
okay.
I think KD is I think KD is phenomenal, obviously.
Plus, they're almost 5-1 right now.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you look at the
5-1 to win the whole thing. You think he comes back in it? I haven't seen it work. That's the only thing I'm hesitant to bet them. I haven't seen these super teams get together and work from a free agent standpoint. We understand Golden State was a super team that was homegrown, but all these other ones where all these super teams get together and they bring in a free agent, it takes at least a year, bro. Haven't seen it work.
Yeah, I think that
takes a year. It always has. I just like Russ, like even Don Russ to the Clippers. It's not. I mean, like I just don't see them as all of a sudden. I mean, shit. When Bron and Bosh went to the Heat, they got to the finals, but they still lost to a team. They still lost to a team in Dallas, and it just hasn't worked. I just haven't seen it work, and I'm still skeptic on it to have it work within the first year. I still think in my opinion, I think Boston takes it this year. Yeah, man. I just because nobody's going to beat them in the East in 7. I'll tell you that right now. I just don't think this. I love the Sixers. They might be able to get there, especially with Giannis still hurt. Even though Giannis will come back, he won't be 100%. So I think the Sixers is a threat, but they just fold in the playoffs. They fold in the playoffs the last couple of years, and they don't want to run into Boston, and they can't beat Boston in Boston. But Boston can beat us here. And the problem is, it's Harden. Harden doesn't know. Like when that defense turns up against Boston, it's tough for Harden to get a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
And, now he's looking for fouls and stuff like that. Is Tucker the X factor a little bit from a defensive perspective? Yeah, but Boston's such a deep team, man. And I think that's why the odds are the way they are. They're the favorite to win it. They're a little bit less than 3-1. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna stick with that, man. I think Boston, dark horse. I mean, we don't know what Morant was going to be last year because he went out because he got hurt, and I think they were up when he was hurt in that series, if I'm
Mm-hmm.
not mistaken. Um, I don't believe in the resurrection of the Lakers. Ron still needs a star to play with, so he can't do it by himself anymore. He just ain't that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, dark horse. I mean, give me the best team in the West, man. Give me the Nuggets.
Oh no, the Nuggets. I don't trust Jokic, man. He's the least dominant 3-time MVP probably ever. Like,
Yeah, he is.
like,
Yeah, he is.
is anyone scared of Jokic? Is anyone scared of him?
No,
Everyone's like, man, I don't want to play those guys.
yeah,
No
no.
one's.
I mean, but the clip. I mean, I can't say the Clippers. I can't. I don't trust the Clippers. Golden State is just like they're banged up. You know, Dallas doesn't have enough.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis makes somewhat sense, but I don't think they have enough.
Mm-hmm.
Looking in the West, I mean, the Pelicans are way off. So I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you got the Suns, but I mean, the Suns might make it. They might make it to the finals again,
Mm-hmm.
but winning it all, I don't know. They need a healthy KD to do that, and that's
Yeah.
going. And I'm not sure he's going to come back fully healthy.
Yeah. We'll
You know,
see, man. I think it's up in the air to your point though,
for
for sure.
sure, for sure. Before we get out of here, Don, can the Warriors turn it up one more time? This will be it though, if they
Mm-hmm.
do, because Draymond's done after this year,
Mm-hmm.
so they're gonna, it's gonna look different for next year. So, I think, I and then the fact that it's a shooting shoulder injury for Curry too.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't like that. As great as he is and the best shooter ever to play. You can see how it's starting to the wear and tear, having the long seasons, going to finals every year, doing it all. The wear and tear, you can't beat it. You can't catch up. And Bron's the only abstract to that because because Bron is still where he's at, which is insane. Best career I've ever seen in my life. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so greatest career probably we've ever seen in our life to live up to the hype too, and then surpass the hype. He lived
Mm-hmm.
up to it and he surpassed it. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's just on the court. We're not even talking about off the court.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no. To answer your question, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. They're going to come in hurt, and that's going to be tough. That's going to be really tough for them to do. So, um, thanks everybody for joining. Like I said, we do this each and every day around this time between 12:30. We give you a quick 15, 20-minute shot about NBA, NCAA, anything that kind of comes up in between basketball. But March Madness is coming, so hopefully we'll have some things to talk about March Madness, what we're going to see, and some plays moving forward. So if you haven't already, you're still out there, man. Like I said, man, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification button. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. We drop them everywhere. Video will be coming later today with the NBA plays. We are still up 7 units, still trying to get to over a rack, and then hopefully we'll keep doubling up and get to that 10K goal. So for myself, Moss Money, that's the gambler, the homie Renzo. We'll see you tomorrow. We're out here.
Peace.